All right, welcome back to the Yetibilt YouTube channel. So I've been asked many times to go over my paint process and how I go about coming from a rough printed body to one of my finished paint jobs. I'm gonna go right off the rip and say that I am by no means claiming to be or even competing with some of these guys that are, full painting these model kits with, airbrushes and all this stuff. I paint in my attic with a small hobby paint booth with spray cans. Now I do the best I can, the best of my abilities for now. I mean, who knows where this is gonna take me, but I just want to come on and go through my process. I'm gonna go and paint, prep and paint both the Nacho Pro and the SCX30 body. First to start, we're just gonna go over what I use. I'll take you through my prep stuff, my paint that I use, the tape that I use, and then we'll get into it. So right off the rip, as far as sanding, my favorite go-to is this Gator micro tool. I've been seeing a lot of guys use this. It comes with 80, 120, and 220 sandpaper. It doesn't conform the best, but it does conform really good. For all the 124 stuff, this is for the most part all that I use. It's all I ever have used. I mean, there's a couple small things like that I've gotten into. These small files that I got from, I'm pretty sure Hobby Lobby. I'm sure you can get them anywhere. But these are, I think, 80, 120, and 220 as well. And they're reversible and they're really flexible. You can get, they're good for the roll cages to get in and out on the inside, on all the cage work. So from there, other things I like to use. Didn't even get this out of the package yet, but I've gone through a ton of them. Just regular 220 sponges. I have 80 sponge. I have other sponges. But this is a little bit more malleable than that micro tool is. It conforms to the body as well. That works great. I'm sure everybody knows red Scotch-Brite pad. Great for scuffing. In between, I'll use this in between like a first and second coat of filler primers, or just a base primer. Depending on some of the prints, I might, especially if I'm going with some kind of patina paint job, I won't even really get into the higher end sandpapers because I'm gonna want a patina look anyway. So I always come back with wet sanding after my filler primer. To quick plug in the filler primer, this is my go-to. Right at your local hardware, Advanced Auto or AutoZone, or online, Amazon, I'm sure has it, but just basic filler primer. I'll chase that with maybe 1 to 2 coats with a Scotch-Brite pad in between. And then after that, when I'm done, I'll hit it with a micro tool again with, starting at 220 roughly, and knock it down. Might even go back with another coat of filler primer and then to come back with 220 and then to the wet sand. I do have, I think, a more coarse wet sand. I think, so there's also this micro tool as well from Gator. I'm pretty sure it comes with like a 400 grit. So I usually do 400 and 1,000 before I go to my base color. This is just another option that you would have from 3M for wet or dry. 600 is really good. Then getting into my paints and tapes that I use. So my favorite go-to tape, I go through rolls and rolls of Limeline. I've painted a couple cars in real life. I've used Limeline. by far the best there is. There's also your Tamiya brand, like your Hobby Tamiya. This orange tape works very well. I find is if it sits around for a little bit, it loses its stick. It doesn't seem like it lasted long. Maybe just in my environment it struggles. But this is what I get all my pinstripes with for my silver. I've had a couple instances where it did lift, but usually you can hide it. And then this is just from Hobby Lobby. I'm sure you can get on Amazon. It's called Nitto tape. It works quite well. Not as sticky as a lime line. So go to just by the lime line. It comes in bigger rolls. To make it easier to work with, I'll take a little bit off, cut it, and go that route rather than trying to using the one the big spool for the smaller cars. Then getting right into my paints. So I started off with Tamiya paints and I kind of got away from it. Once I used Spazstics paint from my local hobby store, I fell in love. Then I actually painted, I forget what it was. I don't know if it was a motorcycle tank or whatever it was that I painted with Tropical Glitz paints. And then I kind of threw this out the window because this even laid great on all the bodies. And all the bodies that you guys have seen that I've done have all been with Tropical Glitz. So you just saw this one on 24. Yep, that's all Tropical Glitz paint. This one's all Tropical Glitz. This one's all Tropical Glitz. I mean, when it comes to getting a really high metallic, you're not going to find anything better. It's the best out there. They do offer it in airbrush style, ready to mix paints, cans, whatever you guys have that you're going to be using for painting. I can't push it enough. It's the best I've used. It's my go-to. The only complaint is it is a little more pricey, but I think if you were to compare, your little Tamiya cans versus this or even the Spazstics, I mean, these cans last me forever. I mean, my black base coat that I use, I can't even tell you how long I've had it for. And then to wrap it up, I have two clears that I am very fond of. I haven't used this one in a while. This is your high-end 2K clear that you have to actually have to mix. It's a 2-part clear. I haven't used it only because it's so expensive, and if you're not painting 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 bodies, I don't see its worth for a crawler. Now maybe on something bigger, that you would be painting, go 2K. It's going to be the hardest, but it's expensive. My go-to, this is what I've used on every body lately, is this crystal clear from Rust-Oleum. It's just incredible. I can't say enough about it. It's cheap. It lays beautifully. It is a little on the thinner side, so quick light coats and just stack them. I mean, I think my average body, I'll do 4 to 5 coats of clear and let it lay. And then I'll usually come back with this in between coats with the heat gun just to help it cure a little quicker. But that's it. We can roll into it now. We'll get these two guys prepped and sanded. I've already hit them with, I think, 80 grit just to knock off the gluing to put the bodies together, but that's it. We'll get these in primer. I'll come back, talk to you guys, and go over where I'm at then, and we'll see if we can come up with an idea for a paint scheme. I really have no idea. I kind of have a colorway that I kind of want to go with, but honestly, like all of my paints, I just go by the seat of my pants and just kind of is what it is when it comes out. But I do want them to match, at least color-wise. I mean, I'm sure paint schemes aren't going to come out exactly the same just for this being so small and trying to get tape in there. But Let's do it. All right, we're back. So there it is. We are all rough sanded. Got all our print lines taken care of for the most part. A couple small, really itty bitty imperfections that we'll have that will get taken care of by the filler primer. But from here, we're just gonna go down, get them rinsed off, get them nice and clean. I'm all out of tack rag, so we'll just rinse them off with water. Let them dry nice, and then we'll hit them with filler primer. And that's that. Let's go. It's wet sand. We're gonna keep it simple. We're just gonna do the 24. We're not gonna bother with the 30. The 30 is hard to see. But to start, we're gonna go into 600 and obviously water. That nice thing about wet sanding is as you go, especially as you're sanding, you'll feel where the sandpaper drags, so that you can keep going over and over in those spots where you feel more resistance until she's nice and buttery smooth. You can also, you can see your sheen in the water, and it'll show you where you really need to go back over and up again. It's hard to see in the camera, but I'd say she's about good to go. Might hit the door sills here just one more time. I think we're ready for some paint. Let's get to color. All right, welcome to my little paint booth. To quickly go over it, it is a Vivo home brand, $100, Amazon, 4 LEDs included, dual exhaust fans, vented right out through this window here. It's basically it. Super simple. To go over what my kind of idea is here for paint, we're going to hit it with, I'm thinking this Overcast. It's like a same color as the Ford body that Yep just did, that Yep just drove. It is like a dark, smoky gray, almost black. Galactic silver is my go-to base for all my candies and pearls. What do we got? So this cosmic gold I love. This is the same color as the old Toyota that I did that I sent to Yep. So it's like it's kind of like an orangey gold. It's got a ton of different color flake in it. It's a beautiful color. And then the two candies I'm gonna hit it with just to make this thing pop are violet candy, which is like a pinkish purple, and then blue scales candy. See what we can come up with. Hopefully it comes out decent and it's good to look at. Like I've said so many times before, I really don't ever kind of come into paint schemes and paint ideas with an idea. I kind of go by how the paint lays and start my base coat, work my way up. So we'll see what comes out. All right, let's get it. Alright, so as I was sitting here, I decided I want to do a black to gold fade coming out of this big side vent here. That way we leave some dark at the bottom. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to gold fade from the back forward. And then we'll back tape here and leave that covered the rest of the paint job. We'll come back with our silver and our candies over the roof to make it pop. Maybe a pinstripe through here just to keep some silver. That's what I'm thinking. Let's do it. Bumper, so I want to leave that black on both, and then we have the side taped off and it wraps around. So we'll save that fade. We're gonna go over everything here with silver, and then we'll start laying our candy. And I'm not sure. I think what I'm gonna do is for at least on this one, maybe not the 24, but I might do a silver pinstripe through here. Not quite sure as of just yet, but we'll get the silver laid and see where it goes from there. Keep it simple. Go with a real basic pinstripe. These will all go silver on the 30 and a 24. I might pull the orange off, and that might also get the cosmic gold pearl over top. But we're gonna do the blue scales candy in the rear. We're gonna fade it to the violet candy in the front. See what we come out with. Let's get it. Quick little tip for checking if your pearl's dry is always touch your tape. Don't ever touch the truck. Don't make my mistakes. All right, last coat of blue scales. Let's get it. I've decided to pull all the tape and then get all that metallic in all the colors. That way it all lays even and maybe it'll blend a little better. So let's pull, where'd my tweezers go? Let's pull these stripes off and see what we got. Really light coat. I just want the pearl out of this. I really don't want to lay any color on it. And that's that. Just getting the flake out. Next is clear, and we're almost done. This is where we're at, boys. Gonna pull this last bit of tape off on the bumper, and where we faded the black to the gold. See what we got. Lay some clear on this thing, and see how it looks in the chassis. We're just gonna use my go-to crystal clear from Rust-Oleum. Just too simple and too cheap, too easy. First coat of clear on that one. First coat on the 30. Also, quick little hint for you guys. Heat gun in the booth between clear coats helps it lay like glass. Alright, second coat of clear. I'm not going to show you 3 and 4. I'm going to do 4 coats, but this will be the last and final coat. Next time you see it, they'll be laying on the chassis. All right, that's my paint process. I tried to keep it as short as I could. I know it was a longer video, but I want to include all the steps. That way you guys can go back and follow right along when you guys are doing your bodies. Hopefully there's some tips and tricks you guys picked up along the way. Hopefully I did the bodies justice. There's a couple things I'm going to change after this paint cures for another day. I'm going to add a silver pinstripe to the bottom, or the bottom and the top of this gold stripe on both. Just because I feel like it's not broken up enough. I want this gold to pop a little more. And then I think I'm going to go back, because I'm not really ecstatic with the stripes on the top, especially this one in the middle. I think I'm going to go back and put the gold in the center here as well. I think then it'll blend really nicely. But that's that. How are we thinking? I painted the linkage on the 30 to match the linkage on the 24. Try to get them as close as I could. But let me know what you think down below. Like and share. Stay wild.